What's up, Guru Nation, clinical researchers? Yesterday was great. We did episode 200 of the podcast, and what turned out to be a very interesting topic on what sites can do to, I called it string along their PIs when they're a research naive PI and they've agreed to work with a site on a study, or they've agreed to work with you on a study. Or they're willing to give you a chance because they don't know what clinical research is, but you did a good job selling them, convincing them on why they should give it a chance. Which, if you've been watching the videos, you've seen all the strategies and the tactics to be able to pull that off effectively. So the podcast was all about what do you do once you reach that point. Okay, the PI's okay to do studies. Now what? And so the now what, it turned into a really interesting discussion with me and Chris, because now you have to lower expectations. Like, you probably did a good job hyping up what research is all about, and yes, there's tons of benefits. I really believe every physician with a private practice could benefit from clinical research if done the right way with the right support staff. But now you got to lower the expectations, because they're going to assume that the next day or the next week you're going to get a study. And that's not the way it works. Studies do not just fall out of the sky, especially for research naive investigators. You've got to work for it. On average, for us, people that know what we're doing when it comes to doing biz dev for PIs, it takes about 3 months on average to get a research naive or little experienced PI a study, meaning their first site selection visit, which at that point, if you have the site selection visit, the study's yours to lose for the most part, because they're not going to come to your site unless they're intent on using your site. So getting that first study is the hardest. Okay, after that, it becomes a lot easier. So lower the PI's expectations. We're most likely not going to get a study for about 3 months. Ideally, you want to be telling them this during the sales pitch, but certainly once they've agreed, you want to make it clear and be able to articulate this well. Another thing is let them know, okay, it may take 3 months for us to get a study. It may be another 3 months after that until we can start screening patients for the study. And then it might be another 3 months after that when we'll actually start getting paid for our work. So we're looking at 9 months out until you receive your first check, if you're paying the PI a percentage of the budget, assuming you're not paying them a salary, which you shouldn't do when you're a startup clinic. Maybe if you're an established research clinic with operating cash, you can do that and actually save some money in the process, and then you don't even have to worry about this. But for the majority of you and us, where we have to live in this reality and operate in this reality, this is the way you should handle PI, I guess lowering expectations. I don't know what you would call it, but nurturing PIs. Okay, because I don't like the phrase string along. It has a negative connotation, even though I don't mean it that way. So nurturing the PI, especially when they're research naive. And look, there's a reason why 90% of PIs who do their first study never do their second study. And it's either because they've partnered with the wrong people, or they've partnered with nobody, and now they're in over their heads with the amount of regulatory work and paperwork and just the basic upkeep that a clinical research clinic will entail from an operational perspective. So that's how you can nurture your relationship. Another thing you can do is prepare them for monitors when they come in. Monitors are going to be asking them certain questions. There's a lot of expectations from a PI. There's certain expectations that PIs are expected. There's certain responsibilities PIs are expected to maintain. And so monitors are going to be asking them this. So just make sure that you're there, you're coaching them on what's going on with the study, how they should react to monitors, not to take things personally, not to be afraid, but just maintain oversight, patient safety oversight of the study, which they should perfectly capable of doing as doctors. And they should have nothing to worry about. Okay, so that's this video in a nutshell. If you want to hear the whole thing, it was like a 35-minute discussion, Go on random musings from the Clinical Trials Guru, episode 200. Otherwise, take care and catch y'all later. Bye bye.